Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk about trauma dumping and how it seems that a lot of people, probably everybody, that I've talked to, consider it an annoyance or consider it weird. And uh, I wanted to talk about how I think it's very unfortunate that people consider it weird or toxic or whatever they call it, because we're full of trauma. Everyone's full of trauma, and I think, if we don't talk about trauma or we don't talk about things that are bothering us in normal conversation, then we're never going to really address it. We're going to be by ourselves, and we're going to cause more problems and more mental illness for ourselves and everybody else. And I feel like we should normalize it. For example, there's this post here from Reddit. I'm that trauma dumping friend, apparently. And in it, this person says, my friend tagged me on her Insta post about trauma dumping as if it was to make fun of me. My sister said, take it as her being funny, but it actually is getting under her skin, or his skin. I'm not sure what the gender of this person is, but whatever it is, it's getting under their skin that their friend tagged her on her Instagram post about trauma dumping. And this person says that they can't help that since the age of 5, their dad and mom lost custody and later died. And then their guardian, grandma, died 2 years later, and I was abused and they were abused by their aunt and uncle for 12 years. All 3 of the other grandparents were dead before their dad. And their whole childhood was trauma. If someone asked them where their family was, they say they have their sister, and then it always leads to where are their parents. Then it opens the door to share about their experiences. That's why when they're on dates, they never bring up family, because it will always leads to what about you? What about them? They feel like their trauma makes them look crazy. Is it trauma dumping if it is your life and you are still affected by it? If you feel lost in the world and alone every day? It makes them feel ashamed that it's their life that they have, instead of people shaming them for sharing about their life. Why can't they just say they can't believe you are a kind person and not in the gutter somewhere giving up? And you see how silly that is? What if it's your whole life? What if it's your whole life that's traumatic? What do you do then? Do you not talk about that? Then what are you supposed to talk about? What if all you can talk about, because you're just traumatized your entire life, like this person is? Well, then what are you supposed to talk about? The weather? What are you supposed to talk about? How beautiful the trees are? You know? Or how there's bird sounds in the video right now. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to say, well, I'm full of trauma, and I'm always talking about it. Well, and people don't like me, but that's not the point. The point is, I think we should talk about it. I think it is normal for everyone to have trauma, and we should talk about trauma. Is it trauma dumping if it's your entire life and you are still affected by it, and you feel lost in the world and alone every day? It's crazy how most people, I feel like, are feel this way. They feel alone. They feel lost. Well, maybe not everybody. Maybe a lot of people actually get along with other people because they're normal. But there are a lot of people who are full of trauma. It makes them feel ashamed that it's their life that they have. Yeah, why can't you be nice to people who are having a bad time or who have trauma? Why can't you listen to them? Why can't you try to understand trauma instead of putting people down and try to actually talk to people about their trauma or their difficulty in living and how much they've been through? And that's not trauma, that's life. And I think we should be talking about this more in normal conversation. I think it's very important that we realize that people who are traumatized in life are not weird. They're not bad. That's just a normal thing. It should be normalized that we talk about this stuff. See, they're in the same boat. Look at this. If they tell the truth, then they're trauma dumping, so they have to lie. So we all have to lie. What's the point in life if everyone's lying to each other and never dealing with the trauma or the pain that we're all going through? We're all going through pain. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, you have to set firm boundaries. Yeah, or else they will weaponize it. Yeah, that's the problem, see? Well, but if they weaponize it and they well, most people look, I've dealt with this my whole life. I think most people weaponize trauma or that you're telling the truth and that you are vulnerable. Although I've dealt with it from everybody, even people who are very close to me, because it's just how people are. They don't like to think about trauma or talk about it or feel their own because it's painful, and so even your friends are not gonna like it, and that's just how it is. But uh, yeah, well, it depends on the situation. Yeah, it really does. uh, they do this on dates now. Yeah, you can't say your dad, went away at 5, and then and then they judge you, yeah, for having a bad life, just for saying that. That's so ridiculous. Look at all these people in pain. Family is a difficult topic for them. I'd rather not get into it. It's sad that we have to do that, That's why, I'm on the internet. That's all I do. I can't work because, I can't lie. I can't lie about what I'm going through. I can't lie that the human race is a very weird and toxic and very, it's all group oriented, and you can't be honest. It's so ridiculous. You can't be honest about anything you're going through if it's too painful and people don't want to hear it. It's ridiculous. That's why I don't deal with society. Uh, yeah, right? See? That's what I mean. Yeah, see, right here. The only issue is, personally, when I say I would rather not talk about it, then it makes you look like you're hiding something, and then it's even more awkward. So there's really, there's a lot of people well, there's nothing we can do. Because if we share it, then it's trauma dumping. If we don't share it, then we're hiding something. So, um, I consider all conversation good. no matter how, whatever it is, politics, religion, I think anything's good, and we should be talking about things that are painful, or else we're never gonna be able to deal with our pain. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. And then it's okay to feel pain, and it's okay to talk about things other than the weather or Debbie's, food recipes, or you know, things that are boring and stupid like what I talk about. But that's all I wanted to say. And um if you want to talk about your pain, then that's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna do that, and that's how it is. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.